Dream Team, it's your boy D Neil back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with when an Indian historian lashed out at the West. Brute India. And before we dive in, y'all know I'm gonna ask you smash that subscribe button, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. And let's hear this.
When I listen to Boris Johnson, when I listen to people like Joe Biden, when I listen even more to Emmanuel Macron, all I can think of is how condescending you are. Glasgow was the UK's second most important city. Beautiful buildings, beautiful streets, a gorgeous city. When I see cities like this, I think also about the other side of it. You know, there's a phrase from Walter Benjamin: every monument of civilization is also a monument of barbarism. I think of the famines in Bengal, the jute workers in Bengal sending jute to Dundee through the Glasgow port. I think of human beings from Africa enslaved and brought from Ghana to the New World, and all those prophets getting sucked into cities like London and Glasgow. You know, between 1765 and 1938, the British Isles stole $45 trillion pounds from India. 45
trillion pounds is insane. Like, that's not even a number my brain can wrap its head around. Like, 45 trillion pounds. My God. That's just craziness. And I hear about Glasgow now. It's funny because you hear comedians talk about Glasgow like in the UK, like it's like a bad city. Like they like laugh at people from Glasgow. So it's interesting to hear that it was like a very beautiful, thriving city.
The British Isles stole $45 trillion pounds from India. 45 trillion sterling from
crazy.
India. We never got paid for that. When the British left India, when we threw the British out, our literacy rate was 13%. So much for several hundred years of so-called civilization. Meanwhile, our landscapes were destroyed. You know, coal was foisted on India. You foisted coal on us. You were the ones that came and made us coal dependent.
Wow.
And then you left. And now you dare to condescend to us. When I listen to Boris Johnson,
I understand. I know what I'm saying. It's like you were the ones who forced this upon us, and now you condescend. You speak to us kind of condescendingly because we use coal, and you were the one that made us dependent on coal. You were the one that stole 45 trillion, and we've seen nothing since we kicked you out. When you were here, our literacy rate was 13%, and you speak to us condescendingly. How dare you? I definitely feel what he's saying.
and now you dare to condescend to us. When I listen to Boris Johnson, when I listen to people like Joe Biden, when I listen even more to Emmanuel Macron, all I can think of is how condescending you are. You condescended to us 400 years ago. You condescended to us 300 years ago. You condescended to us 200 years ago. You condescended to us 100 years ago. You're condescending to us today. You only know condescension because for you, colonialism isn't something that happened in the past and we defeated you. It's not that. For you, colonialism is a permanent condition. And that permanent condition happens in two ways. There's the permanent condition of the colonial mentality. You want to lecture us. You want to tell us that we are responsible for all the problems because you'll never accept that you're the one principally to blame.
He's preaching. This man right here, what is his name? He is absolutely preaching nothing but facts. You try to point the finger everywhere else. And I've noticed definitely about American history. I can't say much about the UK. Don't know too much about the UK. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? It seems like in every story America writes, America looks like the good guy. But when you look at a lot of these videos from a lot of different countries on like the history of America and what America has done to so many countries, it's like, my Jesus, like all the atrocities that America has committed in so many different places. How dare you say that you're the good guy? And how dare you point at everywhere else that you're committing these atrocities as bad places that need you to go in and do this and that and do. You're stealing and robbing from these lands and these people, and you're trying to turn the script around and make you look like the good guy. Oh my God, man. Bro, he's 100% preaching facts.
Problems because you'll never accept that you're the one principally to blame. You signed the Rio Formula in 1992 on common and differentiated responsibilities. You like the common part. You like the common part. You like to say we're all in this together and so on. We're not in this together. The United States, 4-5% of the world's population, still uses 25% of the world's resources. You outsource production to China.
That is absolutely insane to think about. 4 to 5% of the world's population using 25% of the world's resources is craziness.
China, and then you say China is the carbon polluter. China's producing your buckets. China's producing your nuts and bolts. China's producing your phones. Try to produce it in your own countries and see your carbon emissions rise. You love lecturing us because you have a colonial mentality. Then there are colonial structures and institutions. You lend us money, and every time you lend us money, which is our money, every time the International Monetary Fund comes to our societies and they tell us, here's the money we are giving you. You know, it's our money. You give us our money back as debt, and then you lecture us about how we should.
That's crazy. You're giving us our own money back as debt, and you're giving it to us like it's a present. This is our money. You took from us. This is our money. And you're giving it back to us like we should be thankful to you when you stole it in the first place.
Should live. The climate justice movement is a movement that says we're worried about our future. What future? What future? Children in the African continent, in Asia, in Latin America, they don't have a future. They don't have a present. They're not worried about the future. They're worried about their present. Your slogan is, we're worried about the future.
Bro,
what future? Preachy. That's a middle-class bourgeois Western slogan. You got to be worried about now. 2.7 billion people can't eat now. God. And you're telling people, reduce your consumption. How does this sound to a child who hasn't eaten in days? You got to clue into this, guys. You got to clue into this. Otherwise, this movement will have no legs in the third world.
Nah, that man's absolutely preaching, dog. That was absolute facts. Everything he said was facts. Gosh, listening to it, bro, I felt every word that he was talking about. That's all we got, dog. Man, he really let the West have it. I can't believe, like, you can speak so condescendingly to when you're the one who caused the problems in the first place. When you say United States, you know what I'm saying? Talking about China. Well, they produce everything for you. So how about you try producing in your own country and see your emissions rise? I ain't heard one lie. I ain't heard one lie from that man. And I know so many people feel that way about the West. It is a colonial mentality. Colonial mentality. He's not lying about that. And man, he just absolutely ripped into the West in that speech. And I understand why he and so many people would be tired of hearing the condescension. That's all we got for this video. Make sure y'all subscribe, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up. It's your boy D-Neil, out.